Good afternoon, I'm Senator GauravKarkhanis. I'll be speaking for the first time today. PO, please give me a thumbs up when you're ready. I strongly believe that the Keystone XL pipeline should be approved by the President of the United States of America. I have three powerful reasons to prove my statement. To start, the Keystone pipeline will stimulate the economy. According to KeystoneXL.com, Keystone XL will contribute more than $3 billion toward the U.S. GDP. Taxes paid by the project will greatly benefit the towns and counties that it passes through. For example, a policy study by Plate Institute of Economical Research found that this project will generate $134.6 million in Nebraska alone. Moving on to my second point, the Keystone XL pipeline will also increase energy security and will also support energy independence. According to the Huffington Post, due to the existing pipeline, the U.S. import of Mexican heavy crude oil has declined by half from 2005 to 2012. This is a dramatic number, and taking a look at our current standpoint in the environment, don't you think it's in our best interest to become energy independent and stop relying on foreign countries such as Saudi Arabia and Venezuela? And don't you think we should be getting oil from more trusted allies like Canada? Finally, the pipeline will also create thousands of jobs used to create modern infrastructure. According to a New York Times article, Keystone would support 42,000 temporary jobs over its 2-year construction period. About 3,900 of these jobs would be in construction, the rest in indirect support jobs. According to API.org, approval of the full Keystone XL pipeline would immediately put 9,000 hard-working men and women to work directly and put $2 billion in workers' pockets. In support of my argument, I would like to conclude by saying that this pipeline is good for our economy, good for energy security, and good for the American people. Also, Senator Kapiti said in her speech that oil will cause major pollution, but the U.S. State Department did a project with other agencies, including the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, and concluded that sand oil has a minimal effect on the climate. Thank you, and I will now take questions.
It's 2 minutes 40 seconds. Questions, Senator Villamilla?
You know how you said that you would get 42,000 jobs, indirect and direct? But according to my research, TransCanada's original application to the State Department has said that there would actually be 3,500 temporary jobs, and then after they're done, there's not going to be that many permanent jobs left.
You just said that it was their original application? Well, they first applied, I believe, 6 years ago for this, and my information is much more recent. I got this information from a source that was written last year, so I believe my information is probably more accurate because it's more recent.
So in 6 years, the construction technology should have gone better, so there should be fewer people required to construct it, not more.
But in the original application, there was a different length of how long they wanted to build the second, the extension of the Keystone pipeline. Over these 6 years, they've changed how far they wanted to go.
Okay. Senator Chilani?
Why depend only on fossil fuel energy? Why not depend on other energies?
Well, we've constantly been getting oil from Saudi Arabia and Venezuela, and we need it because we need this energy. We haven't found a foolproof other alternative, and instead of burning coal, which is much worse to the environment, why not just use oil? And that's why it's much better for us to build a pipeline and get oil from Canada.
Senator Kapiti?
Where does it matter where the oil is from? How does it matter where the oil is from?
Countries such as Saudi Arabia and like Venezuela, they're foreign countries, and we can't necessarily trust them. We're really good friends with Canada, and with the pipeline, we can reduce the risk of oil spills and other dangers.
So Venezuela and Saudi Arabia are foreign, and Canada is not. Canada is part of the U.S.?
Well, Canada's right. We're really good friends with Canada. We've had wars with Saudi Arabia, and we're not great friends with Venezuela.
wars with Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
Which one?
With the Middle East.
Okay. Senator Resh?
Well, the oil may be better than the coal, but it's still bad. So should we move on to a different energy source?
Well, oil is still better than coal. Yeah. Well, you're right. The oil is still bad, but it causes much less damage to the environment than coal. And as I said in my speech, the U.S. State Department did a project with other agencies, including the EPA, and they concluded that the oil has minimal effect on the climate.
All right, thank you. Okay, last speaker.